Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. That's better, I think. As good as it's going to get. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everything in between. Welcome back to GEEXX Watch. Today I'm going to talk about Fallout Season 2, which I just finished. I know I'm, as usual, late to things. And there'll be some minor spoilers, as usual. As we left off Season 1, Lucy was following the ghoul after her father, Hank McClane. Her brother, Norman McClane, was trapped in Vault 31 with a homicidal brain bot and all the frozen executives who had planned to rule the world as management. And what else we got? Oh, Maximus had taken credit for killing Moldaver, which he didn't actually do. And I can't remember back in the vaults. I think before the season ended, Vault 33 had sent some of the people over to start Vault 32 back up. So that's kind of where things are right now. And going forward, we have these multiple plot lines. So Lucy and the ghoul are traveling to Las Vegas, where they believe Hank McClane has gone. We do get to see some of Hank McClane's storyline going on. Maximus has risen in the ranks of the Steel Brotherhood with the credit he took for killing Moldaver. He is now a highly respected fighter and piloting one of the suits of power armor. Although Father Quintus is intent on using his newfound popularity and authority to try and rebel against the leadership of the Steel Brotherhood. Let's see. Yeah, that's kind of where we're going off from here. There's tensions between Vault 32 and 33. Steph has plans. She is very ruthless, which we did not expect. Norm has to find a way to escape Vault 31, and he's really starting to come into his own. In Season 1, Norm was just kind of a whiny loser, a slacker. Really had no interest in doing anything. But since Lucy left, since the attack on Vault 33, he's really starting to take some initiative and do some stuff. So Norm is coming into his own. I'm really enjoying Norm's storyline. There are other little storylines thread through here and there. We meet some old friends from Season 1. Some of the surprise twist, though, is really what we see of Hank McClane, because we do see him finding a Vault-Tec office that he kind of goes back to being, a 20th century like corporate executive within this little enclave that he has pretty much to himself. There's really no one else there. He just kind of fires at the generators and starts doing stuff, acting as though no time has passed. There are also some surprises because we get some further flashbacks of Cooper and his wife Barbara, prior to the war. In Season 1, Barbara had been the one to suggest starting the next atomic war to try and guarantee that the vaults would get used. And all sorts of stuff going on with that. Lucy traveling with the ghoul. Lucy still tries to be a good person, even in the wastelands, even though the ghoul tells her not to be. And the two of them wind up helping each other out a lot. There are times when Lucy is right. There are times when the ghoul is right. And Maximus's story. I think Maximus has become a bit more interesting of a character. in season one, he was kind of wishy-washy. He was kind of a wimp. But the fact that being a hero was kind of thrust upon him, he's also come into his own a bit. He is a bit more decisive. He's still a good person, but he realizes that sometimes things need to be done that are not the things a good person would do. But he still tries. And that's pretty much all I think I can say without giving too much away as far as the plot lines go. So let's deal with the plot lines and what I think of them. I really enjoy Hank McClane's storyline. I really, really do. Just the fact he's so cheerfully menacing in a way that's coldly corporate. He's not. I mean, the things he does is downright evil, but he views them so matter of factly, and he feels this is necessary for corporate growth and for the success of the company's plans. So he does what he needs to do and does it without any hesitation. So his lack of empathy for almost anyone except for himself and Lucy and Norman is amusing and chilling at the same time. Back in the vaults 32 and 33, Stephanie's progress is surprising. She was we see of her in season one is again she's a very matter-of-fact person, very blunt, but she becomes much more ruthless once she is sent over to Vault 31 and put in charge of Vault 31. Norman, like I said, Norman grows into his own. I really, really like Norman's storyline. Like I said, he comes in his own. Have I not touched anyone? Oh, there's Maximus and sorry, not Maximus. Lucy and the Ghoul. Yeah, I think I pretty much, like I said, I pretty much touched on all the storylines I can think of off the top of my head. There's not too much character development in the Ghoul and Lucy storyline. Maximus and Norman have the most character growth throughout their stories. Having said that, I do think at times Maximus's storylines kind of lagged a bit. I think season 2 started off strong and then kind of dropped down a bit and then picked up towards the end. So, which you kind of expect that to happen a little bit. But there really weren't, I don't think there were any strong peaks mid-season. It was just kind of, kind of brought it back up to level before really ramping up to the finale. The last 2 episodes were, chock full of story. You didn't want to miss a minute. There was a character introduced, the billionaire playboy House. Is it House? Robert House, I think. Yeah, he's a character in Fallout New Vegas. The actor that got to portray him, dead on. Perfect casting for that character. He really sells it. I really like the character of Robert House, if I remember his name correctly. So, all in all, this was really, really good. There were a couple moments that I thought there were some bad plot holes that could have been written better. But all in all, solid season. I think season 1 edges out in quality a bit more because I didn't think it bogged down as much in the middle as season 2 did, but it's still high quality. I think this one ended more on a cliffhanger than season 1 did. Season 1 had some cliffhanger items in it, some cliffhanger moments. Norm being stranded, Lucy and the Ghoul following Hank McClane into the desert, into the wastelands. But they really had wrapped up the storylines a bit tighter, I think, at the end of season 1. So Season 1's a little better than season 2, but not too much. Yeah, it's pretty much just a continuation of season 1. However, having said that, season 3 does have some differences, or what's teased as season 3. There is mention of Colorado in season 2. Now, there has never been a Fallout game that takes place in Colorado. It's been, New Vegas, the California Republic. It's all been West Coast, but mostly like California and Nevada type of things. There's never been anything in Colorado. I think it was a Fallout game that took place in the UK, but I'm not sure if that's canon or not. So there will be in season 3 potentially some brand new storylines that have nothing to do with the games at all. So there's maybe that to look forward to. They have said they will start filming season 3 sometime in 2026. So given the time frames, probably by 2028, we shall have season 3. And based on where the storyline appears to be at this moment, I think they could wrap things up in season 3. There doesn't need to be a season 4. It doesn't mean I don't want one, but I think they could conceivably just completely wrap everything up cleanly in a 3rd season. Doesn't mean they will, but I would very much look forward to a season 4 after this, as long as season 3 maintains their quality. So that's all I got to say about that. As always, thanks for watching. As always, my stuff is crap. And until next time, good hunting.